So now we are going to make the vanilla eggless cupcake, and this is a very interesting recipe. And vanilla cupcake is very important to know and make it really well, because that is the the plain base to create a lot of different other flavor combinations when you're going to make vanilla cupcake or any other assorted flavors. Say for example, if you're going to make strawberries or caramel cupcake, maybe a pistachio or even chocolate, where you don't want to have a too much of chocolate burst coming out of it, because sometimes for few people it could turn out to be like too little bitter. And then if there is a strawberry cupcake and then there is a caramel cupcake requirement, you don't have to learn to make the base itself in strawberry or caramel. Okay, so understanding and learning the right vanilla cupcake is very important. So in this course, I am keeping that as the prominent one, where I'm also going to take this and then show you what are the different ways in which you can flavor the vanilla cupcake. So from there, different flavors starts coming up with the understanding of all the different other flavor combinations that we have learned through this course. Okay, so for this recipe, we need curd and sugar. We beat them together until the sugar dissolves completely with the curd, and then we have the baking powder and the baking soda. They both will go into the curd and the sugar, and then we need to wait until the baking soda starts reacting with the curd and it is going to froth up, after which we'll add the oil and the vanilla extract and get all the liquid ingredients together. And then we finally have the flour, and we will fold it and beat it little by little, and then we have the final batter ready, and we will be having the cupcake pans ready and the cupcake liners, and you're going to fill it in and then bake them at 200 degrees Celsius. So you need to keep the oven running at 200 degrees when you're going to start preparing to bake the vanilla cupcake. Now to start the process, I'm going to get the stand mixer in. Into this, I'm going to add the curd, into that I'm going to add the sugar and beat this until the sugar completely dissolves. So I'm going to check how it looks. So scrape down to combine any leftover sugar that's not melted. I'm going to beat for maybe a minute more. Very small granules of sugar I see. I just want them to dissolve fully. So to this, I'm just going to add the baking powder and the baking soda, and then mix it properly. So after adding the baking powder and the baking soda, you need to rest it for some time, allowing the baking soda to react with the curd, and it has to start bubbling up. And once you wait down to see the bubbles turn up, and then we will move on to the next step. So it's been resting for about 3 minutes. You can see the top is frothy and bubbly. Okay, so after waiting for these foamy layer that will form on the top after the addition of the baking powder and the soda, okay, you can see the foamy texture coming up on the top, or the air bubbles in the spatula. Okay, so this foamy top is what we are looking at after the addition of the baking powder and the baking soda. Okay, so to this, after this stage is when you will add the oil and the vanilla extract, and then put it back into the stand mixer and then beat this. After the oil is added, then you're just going to add the all-purpose flour a little at a time, and then beat after each addition. And just stop beating just when you see the flour combines. So don't overbeat during the flour addition step. Now, once the last drop of the flour is added, you have a pretty smooth batter. I'm just going to scrape down. So that's the texture of the batter at the end. It just looks very creamy, smooth, and just drips down nicely. I'm going to get the prepared baking tray. and fill the cupcake with prepared batter. To fill the cupcake liner, it's 2/3 full, not more, because it could overflow. So I have a little batter left, which I'm going to fill it for the next batch. Okay, so now this is good to go into the oven to get baked at 200 degrees Celsius, fine between 18 to 22 minutes. Wait for the toothpick to be inserted to come out clean. That's when you know your cupcake is baked right. Do not wait for color changes and do not keep that as the ending criteria. The moment you see the toothpick comes out clean or with just wet crumbs, for this it should come out clean. If you find the toothpick has wet batter into it, then you know you need to put it back into the oven every 3 minutes. Check back with the toothpick, and once you have the toothpick dry, just take it out, and that's when you know your cupcakes have baked well. So I'm going to put this into the oven and get back and show you how these have baked. So the cupcakes have gotten baked beautifully. You can see it is a beautiful golden crust, and then you can see it is like quite soft on the inside. Okay, and you know that the cupcakes have baked well if you insert a toothpick into the center of the cake and then it comes out clean, and that's when you know you've done it right. And once you're able to handle the heat of the cupcake pan, you have to take them out of the cupcake mold, the tray, because it is going to catch up moisture at the bottom and then it is going to become oily and sticky. Okay, so you take them out, and if you have to just send out a cupcake order of maybe 12 if you've made, you can just store them in room temperature until you are ready to frost it and then send it out for an order, or if you have to eat it in that particular day. But now if you have a requirement of say maybe hundreds of cupcakes that you have to make, so you have to pre-prepare and keep, which is like you need to make quite a lot of cupcakes ahead of time. So you can't be leaving them outside, or keeping it in boxes and refrigerating is also not the right way of doing. And if you're going to store these cupcakes outside, it is fine, but storing them in boxes with airtight container and then leaving it out, the moisture from the cupcake is going to escape out of the cupcake, and that moisture is going to stick on to the underside of the lid of the box that you're going to use, and it will condense, and that moisture will come back on top of the cupcake, making the top of the cupcake sticky. So most of the times people don't know why the cupcakes become sticky. It is because after baking it is just kept inside airtight, trying to protect the moisture, but what really happens is moisture keeps going out and touches the underside of the box, comes back into the cupcake and makes it sticky. Now what are we going to do to store it if you have to make too many in numbers ahead of time? The Ziplock bags are the one that's going to do the job. You can get like bigger Ziplock bags if you're going to store a lot in numbers. So right now I'm just going to open the Ziplock and then send the cupcakes in. Okay, so how many numbers you're going to store, just put it in, like how many hours. So this second portion I'm going to use another Ziplock to store it. Now if you have to store them, sealing them here, leaving a lot of air inside is not good, because still you're going to allow the moisture to evaporate, right? So now if you have to put them into the Ziplocks, keep them together and release the air completely out. Okay, keep them close, release the air completely out and fold it and then seal. And that way you're going to get the air out of the Ziplock and then seal. So you can see this part is just nicely together. There is no air there and it doesn't look like a balloon there anymore. Now this one, fold it and then this goes into the freezer. Now if you've decided that the cupcakes have to be stored for later use, then you could Ziplock them even while they are warm, like after 10-15 minutes out of the oven. It is good to go into the Ziplock bags, because that way you're just going to keep the moisture sealed in the cupcakes, which is very important because you don't want to serve or eat or send out to your clients any dry cupcakes, and that's not going to be good. You've taken all the care to bake it, so we have to understand leaving it out for a longer period of time is going to dry the cupcakes, that you have to avoid. Now, if I'm going to keep one batch of the Ziplocked cupcakes in the freezer, then the second batch you have to avoid to keep another batch on top of that right immediately when you're going to put it in the freezer. You have to keep the Ziplocks one next to the other, because they are going to be soft to touch when you're going to put them into the freezer. But then after an hour or two in the freezer, they are going to be firm. At that time, you can stack them one on top of the other, so to get more freezer space for more things that you can store. So with this, you know how to store the cupcakes, and we've baked beautiful cupcakes and ready to be frosted in different other flavorings that we are going to see in the next lesson.